Hello guys, Ashley here, also known as the Asian fan. I know that I have been away for at least a year. I think the last time I did a video, I don't remember what the last rant I did on my channel, but I know I did a lot of community updates, and yes, I just started a new job. Everything is new. I just started a new job. I just got a new house. Um, So, and I'm still within the moving process of buying new stuff, so I'm just trying to stay focused on things like that. I wrote down a list of things that I want to accomplish, and I do eventually want to come back to YouTube and make a rant, but right now it just seems that it's not a good time. But you probably are wondering, well, what in the living hell brought you back to YouTube out of all of a sudden? And please do not mind the background noises. The house is very echoey because it's still new and we haven't been able to put anything in it. Well, I have stuff in my room, but we're trying to buy new stuff. So please do not mind the echoey or voices in the background. But today I'm not talking about a teen drama rant or anything like that. Today I will talk about Eminem. Eminem, the famous rapper. Eminem is one of my favorite rappers. I really don't listen to, well, I shouldn't say rapper because I don't even really listen to a lot of rap. I love Eminem and I love Bone Thugs and Harmony. I love some of the stuff that Drake has done. I like certain Drake songs. I used to love Nicki Minaj. Like, I love her old stuff. When I say I love Nicki Minaj, I love her old stuff. I like certain songs from Tupac. I like certain songs from Biggie Smalls. But I wouldn't really say I'm an all-around hip-hop fanatic, or rap fanatic. But I do love Eminem. And when I think of Eminem, I think of someone who is strictly criticized against because it makes other people feel increasingly insecure. And when I say people, I mean black people. This video is going to make people upset because I'm going to be addressing a lot of the double standards and the biases towards this man. And I have always been a big, huge Eminem fan. I wasn't born when he became popular. I was born in '03, so I was born during the time of his popularity. I didn't really become a big fan of his music until I was in middle school and high school. And lately, I've just been recently on a road, just listening to songs again, like listening to his albums. Like, I was always listening to his music, but I was thinking, like, I don't know, well, let me go on an Eminem binge. So I went on an Eminem binge, and I've just been listening to his songs and listening to his albums. And lately, not only have I been listening to his albums, I've just been watching videos of people saying, oh, he's trash, oh, he's not a goat, he's this, he's that, and he's yang. And honestly, this is gonna make people really upset, but I honestly feel like a lot of the reasons people don't like him, or the reasons people think he is trash, is because he's white. Black people get really insecure when we have like this certain space of this is our thing, and when we see other people want to be included in what we assume to be our thing, it makes us feel insecure. Not only does it make us feel insecure, it makes us massively hypocrites because we claim to try to be pro this and pro that and pro everyone, when honestly a lot of black people are insecure and only about themselves. And me personally, I don't have anything against anybody unless they have something against me. It could be white, black, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Asian, Chinese. It could be anyone. I don't have anything against anyone unless they have something against me. And I think that's mostly where it comes from. Because the fact that this man was dragged through the media because of his profanity and his songs that were seen as controversial are the same people who would defend a sexual predator like R. Kelly or Diddy or hell, Jay-Z. These guys are known to be fucking predators, and the media kept these predators safe without helping any of the victims. But yet, y'all want to come after Eminem because he made a couple of songs about his ex-wife. How many R&B songs are there about love and tumultuous relationships? But the reason why we hate Eminem is because his songs were a little bit more darker. Like, it's just a hypocrisy. Me personally, he has any right. If you want to talk about Kim, he has a right to talk about that. That was his baby mama. That was their relationship. That was their marriage. He has any right to talk about it the way that he wants to talk about it. We're not here to tell him how he should talk about it or how he should deliver it. I don't know how long this video is going to be because I'm just going to try to steamroll this because it's 7 and I have work tomorrow. So I'm gonna try my best to just steamroll this, but if I eventually make another video, it probably will be longer. But I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I'm gonna steamroll. I just find it just ridiculous and just really in coming from massive insecurities. And you know, you have people who talk about he stole the black culture, so only black people can wear baggy waggy pants. Black people can only wear sneakers, and I didn't realize you had to talk a certain way or act a certain way to be black. You see, this I don't understand. Black people don't like the people who are woke black people who talk about, oh, we shouldn't be stereotyped, but yet they want to condone us as a stereotype. Black people have to dress a certain way, act a certain way, or be a certain way to be considered black. I didn't realize you had to dress a certain way, or act a certain way, or have your hair a certain way to be considered black. I didn't realize that Eminem couldn't wear baggy white pants or sneakers or a fucking bandana or a do-rag for that matter without being considered he stole the black culture. Are you serious? Are you serious? You know, that's like people talk about, oh, people like to give him the free pass because he grew up in Detroit and he grew up around a lot of black people, and the majority of his circle is black people. What's wrong with having black friends if you're a white person? Especially in his area. Like you said, there was rarely any white people there. All of his friends and all of his associates were black people. And I think that's not a wrong thing. Like I said, if you're a white person and you have nothing against black people, then there should be no reason for you not to be friends with them at all. It is up to the people that you're hanging out with to let you know that certain things you do and certain things you say is not right, and it's offensive. That's up to them. So me personally, I'm about to be mad at Eminem because he wear a do-rag or because he's wearing baggy waggy pants and a big ass shirt or boots or sneakers for that matter. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Now I could understand like how people get mad at the Kardashians for wearing their hair in certain braids and stuff like that. You know, people get, black people, black women get really upset when they see other women wearing braids or the crochets and things like that. And me personally, I feel like in society we're worried way too much about other people's beauty. Me personally, I don't care about the stuff that other people care about. I just half the time I don't care about that stuff. Like I don't care about how a person's gonna wear their hair or not wear their hair or how they're gonna dress or how they're not gonna dress. Nothing about the sorry I went quiet. Nothing about that offends me. I don't care about that. What offends me as a black person is seeing people who are innocent, who done nothing, get killed. People who have been offended in a racial setting get offended. Things like that is serious. Or when you're seeing that your race is not being represented in a way that's healthy or unstereotypical. That is what bothers me. Not how a person is wearing their hair, not about how a person is not wearing their hair, none of that. And how we stereotype our own kind by saying that we should dress a certain way or be a certain way. And when a white person is quote unquote trying to be like us, you have to understand that you're trying to stereotype your own kind. I didn't realize that Eminem sounded like a black man. He what? Like it's just ridiculous. So just because his voice is a little deeper, he's trying to sound like a black dude. It's absurd. It's so absurd that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The biases towards this man simply just because he's white. Sorry for the voices. If you hear me pausing, it's because it might be too loud and I can't hear myself. But I feel like that's mainly where it's coming from. I feel like a lot of the biases is just come from the fact that he's a white man and he dominated in the industry and in a territory that made other black people feel uncomfortable and they want to call it white privilege. Even though he didn't come from shit, he grew up with nothing. He grew up in a trailer park. He didn't grow up with shit, nothing. Had a baby when he was, I think, still a teenager. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? And he had the white privilege. Why does he have white privilege? Because what certain black people have allowed him to come into an area that he shouldn't have come into? How would you like if someone told you that you couldn't be in a certain area because of the color of your skin? It's the same acknowledgement that black people have been going through for years. Could you imagine if someone told you you couldn't go a certain place because of the color of your skin? But yet we get sensitive about things like that. But you know what else it is? Because there's no such thing as disliking a white person based on the color of their skin. Even though when as a black person you might have deep rooted insecurities based off the fact that they are white. Kinda like Eminem. A lot of people dislike his music and dislike him because he's white and he became more successful than a lot of other people who were either black or who were white. It don't matter whether you're a pop artist, rock artist, hip hop artist, or whatever the hell music you do. I think it makes other people feel extremely insecure that he dominated in an industry that didn't have other colors, other races in it, and he was able to get through because he had potential. If someone has talent, they have talent. It shouldn't matter what color of your skin that it is. Whether you're an actor, an actress, a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, a teacher, it should not matter what color your skin is. If you have talent, if you have a passion, and you want to fulfill that passion, you should be allowed to do it. But because it's him, he shouldn't be allowed to do it because he's a white man. And it just shows the biases. It just shows the double standard. It just shows the clear double standard against him. And I would come to his defense no matter what. Because I feel like the majority of the biases and majority of the hate towards him is based off the fact that he dominated in the industry that made other people feel extremely insecure. And because people just want to hate him just because. People want to hate his fans because we like him. Like, okay, so fucking what? And let me address this before I get up off here. Because like I said, I don't know how long this video's going to be. Let me address this before I get up off here. The N-word situation with Eminem. Yes, Eminem, there are videos online with Eminem saying the N-word at concerts. And I just watched a video today of him saying the N-word because his beef with Ja Rule and some other dude was based off the fact that he said the N-word and they took offense to it, which they have every right to be. The history within that word is offensive in itself based off slavery time. But this is where the hypocrisy comes in for black people. If it's such an offensive word, why do we popularize it and address each other that way? Until someone can tell me that, I will shut the fuck up. But can no one tell me? It's such an offensive, and Blackish did an entire episode about this, and even the episode couldn't really give you a definitive answer on it. Rainbow was telling Dre that it's an offensive word, but yet he had popularized it. He talked about that the old generation made it negative, like people in the 60s and 70s and 80s made it negative, but in the 90s and the mid-2000s and 2010s, it became popular to say it that it's like a cool word instead of an offensive word. And that's just the hypocrisy to me. Me, personally, if you want to hear me out, and I don't care if I lose any subscribers to this, because this is my opinion, there are so many people who excuse racism that's bigger than the N-word. There are so many people out there who defend and excuse Hulk Hogan for blatantly calling a black man that his daughter was seeing a nigger. That's more offensive than the N-word, in my opinion. Way more offensive than the N-word. There are some people who excuse Hulk Hogan, even though that entire video call, that thing that he was doing, was blatantly racist. It was intentionally racist. The things that he was saying on that call, intentionally racist. There are even people who excuse Triple H for like his questionable racism in WWE, the blackface, the Booker T promo. There are some people who excuse that and be like, "Hey, it was just a storyline. Don't get so offensive." Even though the stuff that he was saying was blatantly racism, it was very, very racist, and there's no excuse for it. Y'all acting like Eminem was just degrading and dragging black people. Acting like he was calling people gorillas or flat out niggers and niggers. Y'all act like he was doing that stuff. I don't care about this man saying the N-word, and the reason why I don't care about him saying the N-word is because we have popularized the word. We have made the word cool instead of offensive. So I don't care that he said it. And I said it, I don't care. Me personally, if he's in a room of people and they take offensive to it, well, he needs to know that the people in that room don't like him saying it. And that's fine. Me personally, I don't want a white person, a black person, or anyone calling me that word, because it is offensive and it is ignorant based off the history of it. But the reason why I don't care about other people using it is because it just comes from the massive hypocrisy of them popularizing the word and then trying to hate other people for saying it. So it's like, get that the fuck out of here. I just want to mention that because I watch a lot of videos, I've been watching like a lot of interviews with him, and like people talk about him and saying, well, he said the N-word and no one seemed to make a big problem about it. And back in the day, until he made his song Yellow Brick Road, basically saying he has nothing against black people, which he doesn't. He never had anything against black people. Like I said, y'all acting like he called Snoop Dogg a gorilla or a monkey or he did blackface. In my opinion, that's way more offensive than saying the N-word. And majority of the time when he was saying the N-word, if you watch the captions on YouTube, not an excuse for it. I'm not making an excuse for it, because if you are someone who takes the N-word offensive coming from another person's mouth who's not black, you have every right to feel that way. Me personally, I think it's an offensive word all around. But the reason why I feel like it can't be that offensive is because we have popularized it. We have made the word cool instead of making it an offensive word. But it is offensive if you catch my joke, what I'm talking about or what I'm saying. But like I said, if you watch his captions on YouTube with him saying the N-word, majority of him saying the N-word is him performing on stage, and him basically like letting it, him slipping it through the songs and stuff like that. And me personally, if the people he was around having a problem with him saying it, that's on them. That's on them. If Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent ain't got no problem with him saying it, that's on them. That's on them. That's on them. That's on them. Me personally, I wouldn't want anyone calling me that word because I'm not that word. I'm Ashley Burchett. You address me by my birth name, not by nigga this, nigga that, none of that. We're not having it. That's not who I am. But you can't get mad at someone else saying it when you have popularized it and made it okay to say. Look into the mirror and look at who's the hypocrite and then address it. We can't be black people. We like to be hypocrites and we like to hold biases towards other things. But when it comes to another race, we can't wait to drag them down. Now, like if you're a white supremacist and you have like deep-rooted racial issues against a race, then yeah, you have a problem. You're prejudiced. But Eminem has never claimed to hate black people. He never claimed to have anything against black people. And it's like, yo, and people talk about he got a song that he made, I think when he was a teenager or like a young adult, about him, dragging this black girl that he dated for cheating on him. Okay, he can do that. How many black men, how many black artists do the same thing that he did? Like, y'all just want to hold up the standards of biases. And that song, Yellow Brick Road, it was him addressing the fact that he never had anything against anyone's skin of color. And he never did. Not to my knowledge, he never had anything against anyone, any skin of color. So yeah, like, we'll be here all day talking about all the offensive stuff that people took that he did. We'll be here all day. That could be another video. That could be like a part 2. You know. And one more thing before I go, and then I'm going to give my final disclosure about Eminem. The final thing before I go is his situation with Kim, because, you know, this dude on YouTube, actually, I didn't even know he had a hip-hop channel. I thought he just had a wrestling channel, but I think his name was XD and something, XD and Sports. That guy who has, like, the annoying voice. I don't care if he has a bigger channel than me. Yes, I'm calling you out. He has a video on there talking about how Eminem tortured this woman for years. Man, get the fuck out of here. Him and Kim were both equally toxic and not right for each other. They were not right for each other. This woman has countless interviews dragging his name through the mud, even though she cheated on him countless times and he cheated on her countless times. So get the fuck out of here. That's just another case of trying to make a woman be a victim when she clearly wasn't. And they were on and off way before he became popular and he got his big success. They were on and off a lot, and he cheated when they were teenagers. He cheated on her. I think, you know, when you take a break from someone and you date someone else, people think that's cheating when honestly it's not cheating. He dated someone else and she got mad, and then they got back together when I heard the story. And then eventually down the road, you know, because he was on the road a lot, of course Eminem was cheating. He admitted to going to strip clubs. He admitted to throwing money. Like, of course he slept with some bitches. Of course he probably slept with a couple of groupies. Of course, like some of those women that he did videos with, he probably did cheat. Who knows how many times he cheated? But when she said he cheated, I believe it, because he's very flirty in his old interviews. He's very flirty. So I believe it. When she said that he cheated, I believe it, and I believe that she cheated too. She cheated, and then got pregnant by another man, and he still got together with her. Like, if that was the other way around, she probably would have not gotten together with him. If he would have got another girl pregnant, she probably would have not given him a second chance. Or how many chances, 500,000 chances that they gave each other. She probably would have done the same thing. So don't give me this man torture her or drag her through the mud. Man, get that shit out of here. Get that. They both weren't good for each other. The countless back and forth, breaking them, getting back together, the toxicity, the drugs, everything. They just were not good for each other. Not good for each other. Kim, in her little interviews, she takes little to no accountability for her and on why relationship was tumultuous. She tries to act like she was this big victim. I don't know the lady, but I have listened to interviews with her, and to me, she comes off as someone who doesn't take any accountability. Like, at least Eminem can admit that he wasn't the best person. He wasn't the best husband, and he has countless songs admitting that. Love the Way You Lie and Space Bound are two great examples of him admitting that he wasn't the best partner. The mom situation, the stuff with his mother. So the stuff with Kim, I really feel like, because it kind of reminds me of that whole Christina Aguilera beef, when it was like, oh, he would really hammer her based on the fact that she had an opinion. Like, okay, yeah, like, I understand she said she grew up in an abusive household. Her dad was abusive towards her mother. So that's, like, the songs that he was making were really hard to listen to. Me, personally, I love the song, Kim. I love the song Bonnie and Clyde. I love The Way You Lie, and I love Spacebound. So, maybe you're probably thinking, well, that says a lot about you. Well, who cares? Y'all live. I really don't care. I love those songs, and I'll continue to listen to them until my last dying breath, because at least his songs were honest and not phony, like how other people make songs today. At least his songs were raw and real. Let me talk about his mother situation, because it's already 7:30. Wow, the time goes by fast. Um, and talk about the mother situation. I know his mom passed away from cancer, so I'm gonna try my best to not go too hard on her because RIP to her. Because at the end of the day, that was his mother. Um, like he said, she wasn't the best mother, but there's not really a lot of articles about that, just based off what he said in his music videos. And his mom doesn't really have a lot of interviews based off the only two that I've watched with her. So, basically, if he wants to talk about his mother in his songs, he can do that. It was his relationship with his mother. He is allowed to do that. Um, the reason why I talk about his mom is because in the interview that I did watch with her, she came off very contradicting to me. She said that she loves Marshall and that, because that's his real name, that she loves Marshall and she wants the best for him in his career, but yet this woman had the audacity to sue her son for $10 million just because he was making music on how he felt in his childhood. So it's like, do y'all see the reason why he was dissing her? You have the audacity to sue me for $10 million, even though you didn't help me get here, you didn't support me, nothing. Like he said, if she wasn't living in Detroit, his mom moved to Kansas City to move back with their grandmother. Like he said, she probably just saw me on TV and was thinking like, hey, he's rich now, so he owes me money because I raised him and when I probably didn't need to. Because his mom was 17 when she had him, so she was a kid raising a kid. So she probably wasn't the best mother because I've seen enough teen drama, a lot of not teen drama shows, but enough of pregnant at 16 to know that half the time they don't make the best decisions because in the day they do have teenager mindsets. So she probably wasn't a good mother. He, like you said, they lived off welfare. His mom never had a job. She played bingo for money. She said that wasn't true. So it's apples and oranges. She had another son. He was taken. What Eminem said, he was taken and put in foster care, and then she got him back, and Eminem raised him pretty much. So, like I said, it's apples and oranges. But the situation with his mother, I feel like people are just like, oh my God, how you talk to your mother like you talked about your mom like that? This is the woman who birthed you and gave birth to you. That don't make you were a good mother. Just because you brought a child into this world doesn't mean you were a good parent. How many children are abused? How many children are abused? Physically, sexually, mentally, emotionally? Doesn't make you a good parent because you brought me into this world. Are you serious? No. So you could just leave that out of here. And like I said, we'll be here all day talking about the controversial stuff that people said in his music. Him, saying that he raped his mom. I can't say the real word because I'm afraid it's monetized. Even though it doesn't take an oxymoron to know that he wasn't being serious. But whatever. That's all I really have today. I would say in my conclusion, I think the hate towards Eminem comes to people who are insecure, people who hate the idea that he dominated in a situation where they thought that he probably would have just been a one-hit wonder, even though he had talent. And I remember him saying this in an interview with Dr. Dre, that when it comes to sports, no one ever says, oh, he can't do it because he's white, or he can't do it because he's white. If you have talent, you have talent. It shouldn't matter what the color of your skin is. But the reason why it matters so much because it was Eminem was because he was white. So let's be real. And people want to talk about there's no such thing as disliking a white person based off the color of their skin, when majority of the comments and majority of the hate with him, when I listen to people talk about, oh, he's overrated, is based on the fact that he is white. No one really has a legitimate reason why they dislike his music. No one ever has a legitimate reason. I listen to so many videos on people saying he's overrated, and no one has a legitimate argument. Nobody. No one has a legitimate argument. No one. So it just shows that they try to come up with pathetic reasons to say he's not a GOAT. And if he's not a GOAT to you, that's fine. There's probably other people you will probably put on there who you think is better than him, which is fine. That's okay. But they try to make his fans feel bad for liking him. And it's like, you're not going to make me feel bad for liking someone. You're not going to do it. I love Eminem. He's one of my favorite artists, period. Like, I love his music. Genuinely love his music. I think he has his funny songs, he has his storytelling songs that I really like, and he has his serious and emotional songs as well. He's very he's a mixture. He's not one noted like how a lot of these other artists are today. And I just feel like the hate towards him is just based off insecurity and people wanting to hate his fans because people people didn't expect him to have black fans. People just thought he would be a white artist with white fans, even though his fan base is very much diverse. He has white, Puerto Rican, black. He has a mixture of fans. And that makes people feel insecure. They thought because he was white that he wouldn't appeal to a black audience because his music he was a white artist. Even though he has really great songs like My Name Is, The Real Slim Shady, Sing for the Moment, Cleaning Out My Closet, Talking to Myself, Love the Way You Lie, Spacebound, Kim, Guilty Conscience, Forgot About Dre. He has so many great songs, and y'all want to discredit him based off the fact that he is white and he has talent, and that makes you feel insecure. So what I would say is look into the mirror, gain some damn confidence in yourself, and stop taking your insecurities out on someone who you've never met in real life. It's pathetic, and it's like, get a life, seriously. Find something to do. Get a job, get a career, do something with your life. Because hating someone based on the fact of the color of their skin and that they gained success in a dominated industry that you don't like personally just shows that you're insecure. So I don't really care how anyone takes this video. It's my opinion with facts, and I really don't care what anyone says. Like I said, there might be a part two of me breaking down a lot of the controversial stuff, or like the beefs he's had with certain people. Only know certain beefs he's had with certain people like Christina Aguilera and Mariah Carey, and I could definitely break down those two because I feel like I have a lot, especially the Mariah Carey one. I have a lot of opinions on that. So, I don't know when I'll be back here because I have so much stuff going on, like personally. So I would just say be patient with me. But I really have to talk about this because I've been thinking about this for like like a month and a half now. So I would say bye and be patient with me and just keep supporting my channel. Like if you're a real fan, you understand where I'm coming from. You support me, and you understand me. But if you're someone who can't comprehend what I'm saying, then you obviously won't like my videos. But it's whatever. So I would just say good night and see you guys next time.